All right, good day, everyone. Today, we're going to be talking about managing changes and deliverables in project management. Um, every project is created to produce something. That something may be a product, a service, a system, a report, training program, event, process improvement, or even a business solution. These outputs, right? Everything I just mentioned is called a deliverable, right? So you'll hear that term a lot in project management, you know. So once a project begins, change is almost guaranteed. Stakeholders may request new features, costs may shift, deadlines may change, the customer needs may evolve, the leadership priorities may adjust. That's why project managers, you, must know how to manage both the work being delivered and the changes happening along the way. Um, so let's understand our deliverables a little bit more, right? A deliverable is a specific output the project is expected to produce, right? So what is the project producing? Deliverables should always be clear, measurable, and connected to the project scope. It should not be a deliverable that is in the project that is not that you cannot put within the scope. For example, a project deliverable may be a completed marketing campaign, um, a new customer service process, a redesigned website, a training manual, a software feature, or a final project report, right? The key question is what must be completed, reviewed, and accepted for the project to be successful? Now, that question matters because project teams can be busy without producing the right deliverables, right? So a team can attend the meetings, they can send updates, they can complete all the tasks in the world, solve all the problems. But if the agreed upon deliverables are incomplete, unclear, or not accepted, the project is not finished, right? The deliverables give the project a concrete target. That's why they're so important. So when it comes to deliverables, right, we want to talk about change management because it's going to matter. Because, like I said earlier, changes happen. Change happens all the time inside of project management. So, change management within project management is the process of reviewing, approving, tracking, or controlling all the changes in a project. So you just don't make a change and then, you know, without tracking it. Because all the changes they can affect the scope, the schedule, the cost, the quality, the resources, the risk, and the deliverables. It can affect everything. And the change is not automatically bad. So I don't want you to think that, right? So sometimes change improves the project. Sometimes change can help your project team respond to new information or new customer needs or new market conditions or new leadership priorities, right? So the problem is unmanaged change, right? So unmanaged change can create confusion, scope creep, right? It can be missed deadlines, budget overruns, team frustration, stakeholder conflict. So that's why you, the project manager, use a change control process. Now, change control process, what that does is that helps determine what change is being requested, why it is needed, what impact will it have, who must approve it, and how it will be documented, right? The goal is not to block every change. The goal is to make sure changes are reviewed responsibly, right? So let's use a real world business example. So suppose you have a company out here that's redesigning its website to improve customer experience, increase online sales, and strengthen the company's brand. The approved project deliverables may include a new homepage, updated project pages, customer testimonials, right? A contact form, a mobile friendly design, search engine optimization, and a final launch report. So the project team begins the work. The designers, they create the page layouts. The writers, they'll develop website copy, right? The technology team builds the pages. The marketing reviews the branding, and the leadership reviews the final version before it's launched. And halfway through the project, the stakeholder says, hey, can we add an online booking system or a customer portal or a video library? Because I think that's a good idea. But remember, that was not a part of the original approved scope. So if you simply say yes without reviewing the impact, then the project may run into trouble. And you don't want your project to do that. It may expand your timeline. It may increase your budget, right? Your technology requirements might change. More testing may be needed. Additional vendors may be required. The original launch date is no longer realistic. This is where change management becomes essential. So you, the project manager, should document the request, review the impact, communicate the trade-offs, and ask the appropriate sponsor or decision maker to approve, reject, or defer the change, right? So you may say, well, we can add those features, but they will require additional time, cost, and technical support. We need to decide whether to expand the scope now or include the features in a future phase. You know, that is having responsible project leadership. So managing the deliverables. Let's talk a little bit about that. Managing deliverables also mean making sure the outputs meet expectations before they're accepted. So this requires a clear acceptance criteria. Now, acceptance criteria define what must be true for a deliverable to be approved. So in the website, redesign example that I gave, I said earlier, the acceptance criteria may include the homepage loads correctly, the site works on mobile devices, product pages include accurate information, the contact form sends messages to the right team, the design follows the brand guidelines, the site has been tested before launch. Without acceptance criteria, your stakeholders may disagree whether the deliverable is complete or not. So one person may think the website is ready because it looks good. Another person might say it's not ready because the contact form doesn't work. Another stakeholder may say it's not ready because the product pages are missing key information. Clear deliverables and acceptance criteria reduce confusion and support accountability. Managing changes in deliverables require your leadership. Always. You know, Dr. Will's going to always talk about leadership. You know, and as a project manager, you must protect the project from uncontrolled changes while still, remaining flexible enough to respond to real business needs, right? So in order to do that, your deliverables must define what the project must produce. Change management helps protect those deliverables from confusion, uncontrolled expansion, and misalignment. As a project manager, you got to take control of that. So as you think about managing changes in deliverables, remember this: change is not the enemy of the project. Uncontrolled change is, right? And a strong project manager is going to define the deliverables, manage the change responsibly, communicate the trade-offs clearly, and protect the value of the project because the project was created to deliver a certain deliverables or deliverable or deliverables, okay? So just keep that in mind and just remember that. And we'll talk about our next segment here in a couple minutes.